What's going on, guys? It is Goalazio here. Welcome back to another alternative players. Guys, if you missed the last episode, we looked at Messi and we looked at cheaper players that you can have in career mode to essentially have your own Messi without forking out a load of money, 100 plus million on Messi himself. And today I am bringing you a requested player. This player isn't in FIFA anymore, but he is a legend of the game. It is Didier Drogba. Of course, a lot of you have suggested this player. Comment below right now if there's any other players you think we should look into. Defenders, goalkeepers, retired, still in the game. Let me know in the comment section below and we will take a look at some alternative players to sign instead. But guys, make sure you do hit that like button. Of course, don't forget to subscribe and let's take a look at Didier Drogba. So these are some of his key statistics. Of course, we are going to Ultimate Team right now to look at him because he is actually in the game, which is really exciting to take a look at. We got his 93 rated card. And the biggest stat that we really need to take into consideration is that height. He is 6'2", so we need someone with that height. And also he has high attacking work rate and high defensive work rate. So we're going to be taking that into consideration when actually looking for alternative players. We are going to be a bit lenient on the defensive side though. So if it is low and if it is medium, we're not too bothered by it. And of course we need a right foot there, which is one of the biggest things. But a good thing with Drogba, he has 4-star skills, 4-star weak foot. We are going to try and get 4-star skillers. So let's have a look at some of his key attributes. Of course, we know for a fact Drogba is an amazing player. We know he's generally all-round awesome. But some of the key stats we're going to be looking at is pace is one of the biggest things we need to take into consideration with acceleration and sprint speed in the 90s. We are, of course, going to be looking at that strength. Strength is one of the biggest things that we need to take into consideration because of the fact that it is around 91. So he's a strong, bulky player. He is 6'2", so he is going to be a player that can muscle defenders off the ball very, very easily. And of course, we are going to be wanting to look at a player with decent finishing. Of course, the players that we pick are going to be players with good potential as well. Some more expensive, so we got a bit of variety for you guys actually today. But those are the key stats. We want to see the strength, we want to see the pace, the height, and the work rate. That's where we're going to be looking at to try and get a Drogba-like player for your actual side. Right, guys, let's take a look at some of the players. Some of these players, well, I've used all these players in career mode, and some of them I have not purposely looked at the statistics which I've just mentioned. For example, Ellis Sims, right? You may know him from my Newport kind of career mode if you haven't checked him out, but this guy apparently only has 60 strength, but he is insanely good, right? He is so strong in-game in comparison. He's ridiculous. He has 4-star weak foot. He also has 3-star skills. He starts off at 64 rated with a nice potential of 82, so that actually drastically improves quite quickly. I've used him for 2 seasons, and he has improved from 64 to actually 75 within those 2 seasons. So he's going to grow a nice healthy amount, and you are going to get that potential very, very quickly. Right, let's take a look at Wesley, the Brazilian striker, 77 rated to begin with, a potential of 83. 12 million or so this guy is actually going to cost you. Can't sign him in that first season, but he has got incredible shot powers, 84, 91 strength, which is ridiculously good. His heading accuracy and everything, his attacking abilities are very good to actually begin with. The only downside with him in comparison to actually Drogba is his acceleration is a little low. To actually begin with, it's around 75. So, but do expect that to rise quite quickly over the few training sessions that you do focus on with him. That's my advice with him, focus on training sessions. But for 12 million quid, you really cannot go wrong whatsoever. Luis Javier Suarez, a brilliant player. Right, I signed him recently. He's on loan in our first season, and I waited until season 3 I'm in, and I got him on a free for season 4, so his contract ends in 2021. But anyway, he plays for Watford to actually begin with. 74 rated at the start, 85 potential. It's going to cost you around £10 million or so, so really take that in consideration whether you want to fork out that money straight away or wait a couple of seasons and get him on a really dirt cheap price. Finishing at 78 to start with. Acceleration sprint speed at around 87 overall, which is solid, and his strength is at 81, which I think is a really nice good amount of strength to actually have in any player in this game to actually begin with. And of course, he has 4-star weak foot, 3-star skills, and he is 6'1", so he's going to be winning headers. He has the pace. He's good at through balls. He's going to be muscling players off the ball. He's a very Drogba-like player. There's no other way to put it. Williams is probably the closest to Drogba you'll find in this game, in my personal thoughts I've found. 82 rate to start with, potential of 85. Going to cost you around 30 to 40 million pound if you are going to try and sign him, guys. He does have a wage around 30 to 40,000, which is, let's be honest, is fairly cheap for a player of that caliber. Anyway, some of his statistics to actually begin with: finishing at 80, dribbling 81, sprint speed and acceleration at 92. Shot power, 85, 88 jumping, 84 stamina, 82 strength. You see what I mean, guys? He's 6'1", so he's got the height as well. His header accuracy is around 73, but let me be honest with you, I haven't had any issue scoring any headers with him. He's leaping bounds above the defense, which is absolutely incredible. But his shot is just insanely good with that shot power at 85. So if you are a better sign and you are willing to fork out that money, you do need to sign him quite early on, because what is, right, he plays for Atletico Bilbao, which in FIFA aren't the biggest team in the world. So the likes of Chelsea, as you can see there, he transfers really early on. So when you do have a look at him, really take consideration of going, right, I need to sign him straight away. So he is a first season signing, definitely a player to check out. I just cut 2 players out. I had Harry Kane in here, and I had Mikey, however you pronounce his name. I just removed them because I've had second thoughts. Even though they're good in game, I'm not the biggest fan. Like, I prefer to put other people in there. But anyway, I got a Road to Glory one for you. So anyone that's doing a Road to Glory, of course, a lot of players I have suggested, other than Sims, are essentially you're further up the table, you're further in your campaign. Daryl Dyke, 19 years old, playing for Orlando, Florida? Orlando City in the MLS. 61 rated to begin with, 81 potential, valued around 500k, right? A grand wage. A grand wage! He has a release clause of 1.2 million, so you can actually just sign him straight away if you wanted. That's entirely up to you. But let me just have a read, right? His acceleration sprint speed is around 70 overall to begin with. For a 60 rated player in League 2, that's amazing. Shot power, 76. Jumping, 71. Strength, ladies and gentlemen. Oh my goodness, right? That, right now, is at 95. 95! Look at that. How has he got 95 strength? That is just insane. And the guy is 6'2". 3-star weak foot, 2-star ability. That's the biggest downside. He doesn't have that skill moves. But you know what? As long as you can cut in with a striker, I'm not bothered by skill moves a lot of the time. But he's like your cheaper Didier Drogba. It's no other way to put it. The guy is incredibly good. Grows rather quickly. I've noticed when you play him, week out, train him like you normally would, he does grow quite rapidly. I think within the first season, I did get him to around 72 rated, so it's a nice plus 10. That's a really healthy amount, half of his actual potential, and he does actually exceed that 81. So when you are using him, I think it was around season 3, something like that I got him plus 81. So it's definitely a player to actually check out. Oh, incredibly good. But anyway, guys, they were my Drogba-like players to actually sign. So they are my top 5. I did, of course, have a couple other players in there, but you know what? With this series is about bringing you the creme of the players, which I think are very similar to Drogba. If I have a little bit of a doubt, I decide to drop them, and I usually have a list of about 10 to 15 players, and then all of a sudden, I start dropping them for many reasons after using them. That's one reason, and then all of a sudden, it's like, oh, you know, you're not that good, and then get to the best. So they're your top 5 Drogba-like players. My honest thoughts, if you was to pick 2, Road to Glory, oh, I can't, I gotta do 3. Road to Glory, Daryl Dyke, top 2. Road to Glory, Daryl Dyke, and if you was going to spend your money, go for Williams. The guy's just absolutely insane. It's the closest you get to Didier Drogba, in my personal thought. But anyway, guys, that is your alternative Drogba players to actually sign in FIFA 20 career mode. If you've got any other suggestions and players that we should really consider looking at, hit that comment below. Comment below, let me know. And of course, while you're down there, hit that subscribe button and like and share with your friends. But anyway, guys, my name is Goalazio, and for anyone who's watching, hope you all have a good day. And guess what? I'll see you next time. Bye-bye, guys.